In today's video, I'm going to show you one of the trading strategies that made me profitable a few years back. And not only that, I'm going to backtest it with you so you can see the results in live. But first of all, let me show you the results that we have right at the moment at TradingView, because I've got this trading strategy completely scripted where I can change all the adjustments. And basically what this trading strategy does is use two RSIs. Okay, so I'm going to come here to Forex Testers, more or less explain how it works. And we're going to use two RSIs, one in the 5-minute chart and the other one in the 1-minute chart. So first of all, let's come to the 5-minute RSI, and we basically, what we're going to search on the 5-minute is the trend. Okay, so we're going to search the trend with the RSI. If the RSI is above the 50 level, we are only going to take buys in, and if the RSI is below the 50 level, we're only going to take sells. So this is quite simple. And now comes the 1-minute RSI. Okay, in this case we are going to use the level of 70 and 30. Obviously these levels we can change them if we want to, as well as we can change the time frames. If we can't do scalping, we can do it with day trading. And basically what we're going to search with this indicator is to sell when the price goes above the 70 level and buy when the price comes below the 30 level. So the main focus on this is that if the price is bouncing around the 50 level, we are not going to take any trades, because we first want to wait for a trend to happen. And once we got this trend, if the price comes and touches this level down here, while it's touching at the same time the 50 level, obviously we're not going to take a trade at that position as well. As you can see on TradingView, we have some great results where we have a great equity chart. You can see full increase with a profit factor of 1.4 and a 67% win rate. Okay, over 200 from 292 trades. So we're going to trade it live with you guys, so you can basically see how it works and you'll be able to see how good it performs. So let's go ahead and jump to our first session. In this case, I'm always going to trade the New York session, because it's normally where we can get our best trades, because normally the New York session is quite volatile and we can get some great profits, but as well we can carry some big losses, because obviously in this strategy we don't have a fixed stop loss, because we close our positions depending on the RSI. So we must keep that in mind. New York session can be quite dangerous. Must mention as well that in the 5-minute time frame we're going to have the 14-period RSI, and the 1-minute time frame we're going to have the 5-minute. Okay, because obviously the 5-minute is quite more edgy and we can get these quick trades that we're actually looking for. So in this case I can see there's one happened here. Did it happen? Yes, it happened in our time frame. And as you can see as well, price was above the 50 level. So in this case, we can take a buy. So we're going to take a buy right here, and we are going to close the position when it comes above here. So in this case, we'll be closing it up here. And with our first trade in the pocket, we're going to keep searching for more. I must say that as well, that when I use this strategy, I only used to take like 1 or 2 trades and I would leave the market, because obviously I don't want to expose myself to having these big drawdowns with having no stop loss. We must keep that in mind as well. We have another trade right here where price has entered the 30 level and it's still above the 50 level, so we're okay. So let's enter our buy trade here, and we'll be closing the buy trade over here with another $14. In this case I'm using a really small lot size, just so you can see how it works. Okay, well obviously normally we would increase this lot size a bit, but not always it is necessary. So we have another entry here. Price came below the 30 level, still above the 50, so we can enter another buy around here. And we just need for price to break up again, closing with another $15 over here. We've already had 3 trades in a row, and me personally, here's where I would leave the trading day, because I've already won. And if I've already won, that's the only thing I actually want. I don't want to keep trading if I've already earned some money. Obviously, it depends on how you want to focus it. But me personally, when I've had 3 trades already in a row, for me is more than enough, because at the end of the day, this is all probabilities. And we're probably going to lose 1 or 2 trades after this. We'll just have to see how it performs. In this case, we had another great trade up here with another $11. We're up $53 already in the first day, so this is turning great. And like I say, it's just another rinse and repeat, constantly waiting for our new trades. We see it's entered a new one here. Price is still above the 50, so at the end of the day it's super simple. Just enter another trade here. In this case we can see we had some drawdown coming down here, and perhaps we have our first losing trade, because obviously we got to wait for price to hit the upper band. In this case it hit it just here, just literally touched it here. but obviously here we've lost $17, and this is what I mean at the end of the day of the probabilities, that if we've already won 2-3 trades, it's more than enough to cancel the day and leave it like that, because obviously at the end of the day what we want to do is earn money. We don't want to be trading all through the day. As well, you can see it, we're starting entering the New York session, and here's where we can start to see some trades maybe go in a bigger drawdown, because obviously the moves are a lot bigger. Here we have another trade. Price hasn't gone above the 50 level, but we've entered the 70 zone. So let's enter our short trade, and as we can see, we got some $8 profit here, some quick profits. And let's continue waiting on. We have another entry right over here. Price still hasn't gone up 50, so we're all fine. And let's see how it turns out. In this case, we had a small loss, virtually break even. So I'm fine with that. Price is starting to move around the 50 level. So obviously we're going to wait for it to move a bit out, because obviously what we want is a nice trend. And here we go. We are on a nice trend, and price is starting to pull back. I even started to pull back on this candle. Yeah, this candle here. So we enter our next short position down here, closing down here, and another profit that we get. Price comes up again, as we saw just before. Here it is, and we are still. This one is quite edgy, I must say, but it's still a valid trade. So we are going to take it. And as you can see, we went straight to profit again. And you can see as well, there's really short pace trading. I mean, very short trading, in virtually 5-10 minutes. We'll be getting profit and profit and profit. Right at the moment, we are $78 above. So we've actually done a 1% on the 10,000 account. So that is quite okay, concerning the small profits that we're actually earning. And let's see if we can scratch a few more. But as you can see, we're starting to get quite volatile market. And obviously this can mean some big drawdowns, so we must keep that in mind, that we might have a big drawdown like we can see right at the minute of $43, and the price just keeps pushing up and pushing up and pushing up. That's why I don't like to trade the New York session in this case, because we can see how we've lost $215, and it was completely unnecessary to lose, because at the end of the day we already had our profit and we could have left the market. But as it's a backtest, but obviously I've got to take all the trades that come out. But if you've got a proper trading plan, you are not going to be trading all these trades. You're only going to take 1-2 trades and leave the market. We have another long position here, as price is quite extended above the 50 level. So let's see how that performs. And we are leaving virtually break even with a -$2. So that's fine, that's no problem. I don't mind them type of losses. The ones that I don't like is the ones that happened right at the moment ago, where we lost $200 out of nowhere. So let's enter the next one over here. And you must see as well that it gives you tons of trades, so you've got tons of opportunities to actually make profit, because at the end of the day you might get 20 trades in a day, and obviously we only need to take 2 or 3 of them trades, so we can actually select the trades that we want to take. Because obviously if the market goes up right at the moment, we're only looking at the RSI, we're not actually looking at the candles. If we go with the trend, if we're a bit more intelligent, obviously we'll be able to get even more profits out of this strategy, because right at the moment the only thing that I'm doing now is just taking trades based on the RSI, and it's something that we shouldn't do. What I am going to do is stop trading now, because we're going to come up to the rollover, and obviously I don't want to trade the rollover. So I'm going to go to our next session, in this case in the London session, and let's see if we can get some nice trades over here and bring this account back up. That we probably will. And at the moment we are above, so we are in an uptrend, and right at the moment we can see it's entered right here, quite near the 50 level. So we must take care of these trades as well, because if we're too close to the 50 level, we could be near some type of regression, and we don't want to be in that either. So successful trade over here. Wait for the next one. Price it's coming down. Nope, it's going up quite heavy up as well. A small tip that I can give you about this strategy is that when price overextends a lot, like it happens a lot on Bitcoin, where you can see on the 15-minute chart when it's completely overextended, obviously when it gets a retracement, it's going to go straight to the 30 level. But the thing is here that when it's super overextended, the retracement is going to be quite big as well, and it's not going to be measured properly with the RSI. So in this case, we could see a full retracement back down to here, and this would leave us with a quite big drawdown. So we must keep this in mind for these trades as well. It's not always going to happen. You see here, it controlled itself quite well, and we've earned some $13 over here. But we must keep this in mind that it can be quite dangerous if we are not careful. So let's enter our next long position over here. Price is completely overextended, so we are fine over there. So we just need to enter our next trade, giving us some quick profits in virtually 3 minutes. We are getting our take profit over here, and we just need to rinse and repeat. Really, at the end of the day, that's what basically trading is. Having our strategy and just doing the same over and over and over again, because obviously we've already backtested our strategy, and we know that we have the probabilities on our favor. So that is the main focus on trading. At the end of the day, it's not who does the best analysis. At the end of the day, it's pure probabilities, and it's the only way of beating the market. At least in my opinion, that's the only way I've managed to beat the market, is basically using the probabilities on my favor, and that's all. We have taken a small loss over here. We're still increasing our balance since the last loss that we had, and now we're starting to enter again the New York session. So obviously we can have some good gains as well as we can have some big losses. So we must keep that in mind, that we must be careful with this session because it is very volatile, especially on Bitcoin. So we are below the 50 level and prices hit back to the 70s. So the only thing we can do here is give us a nice sell and hit the take profit in virtually 3 minutes. And that's what I love about this strategy. This is just profit, 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 profit. But obviously the problem here is that if you don't know when to stop, then we're going to hit the stop loss that we saw before, because at the end of the day, in some moment the price is going to explode, and if it explodes in our favor, great, but if it doesn't, we are in problems. So we just have to keep that in mind if we want to use this strategy. We got another entry round here. Price is still below the 50, so we're going to enter another short position, and we have some small profits over here, so another $9, so it's doing great. And here, as you can see here, the price has come to 70 level, but it's literally touching the 50 level. So right at the moment, it's not so good idea to enter. Obviously, it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad trade, but the probabilities go lower, and we don't want low probability trades. Right at the moment, okay, perfect. We are above. Must say that we are at the 52 level, so we are still quite close, but it's still doable. We can still trade this one here. And whoa. We had some big drawdowns here, but we were literally just saved by this last candle pushing up. And thanks God to that, we added another $11 to our account. But my boy, did that one move heavy. Good. That's when it happens. When it moves in your favor, it's great. But when it goes against you, my boy, it can go, it can draw down your account like nothing. So let's enter another buy position right here. Right at the moment, the 15-minute structure. Right at the moment, the 5-minute structure is looking quite good. So hopefully we can get some good profits out of this one. And I would say I would have left out here, to be honest. I would have left out here because literally it's on the 70 level. So I would be living more or less here because I don't want to over risk. And like I say, I prefer to take the money what I've got than what I can get, because at the end of the day, I prefer to keep the money that I've got than trying to get what I want to get. And that a lot of times has saved me tons of money as well, just by taking what I've got and calling it a day, because at the end of the day, we don't know what market can do next. But if we've already got the money, let's take it. Personally, that's the way I think, and it's the way that's kept me making money over the years, so I'm going to always follow that rule. And following in the rules, we have another entry over here. Price is above 50, so we can enter a nice trade here. Oh, I didn't enter a trade. Well done, Jack. And right, great profit, $34. As you can see, obviously in the New York session, it's a lot more volatile, and obviously it will give us bigger profits, but as well it can give us a bigger loss if we get a bigger loss. So must keep that in mind and just keep trading around. And we've got another entry over here. We're virtually finishing the session, and this is one of the trades that I don't like to trade, basically because we have a huge overextension on the 15-minute, and I would like to enter it more or less on this zone here. Okay, if the price would reject right down to the zone here, I'll be quite happy entering. But as we can see, the RSI has given us an entry right above here, and this always isn't so good. But as is a backtest, obviously I'm going to take the trade. but it's not my favorite trade, because at the end of the day I prefer a bigger retracement, because if it's a big extension, we need a big retracement. That's how the market works. But at the end of the day, it's not gone so bad, minus $9, so we're doing fine there. And we just need to keep trading through, because at the end of the day, it's a mechanic strategy to do it. We don't have to think too much about it, but obviously with the experience, you'll see some trades that you say, hey, I'm not going to take this trade because it makes no sense. Just made another $20 profit over here, so we're doing great. And we could virtually call it a day already. And as you can see, from minus $200 for taking that unnecessary loss, we've come back to minus $11. So we've virtually recovered the fully account, and that is great. And we've even been trading all through the day. If we would have been more intelligent and we would have only taken a few trades, first day, second day, and third day that we're going to enter now, then our profits would have gone a lot higher. But obviously, as is a backtest, I just want to show you as most trades as I can, so you can see how it works, and you can see as well the dangerous part of the strategy, that is taking too many trades by just being greedy. So let's jump to our third day on our London Open, and as you can see over here, right at the moment we are in an uptrend, nice uptrend on the 5-minute chart. So let's wait for a bounce on the 30 level that we have it right over here for our first trade. So let's go long, and it gave us a quick profit of $15. And it looking great. We've got another retracement. We enter another long position. Price goes back up again, and we're leaving with another $9. And if I'll take profit over in this trade now, I personally would call it a day, because it's starting to consolidate in the 5-minute chart. And if it starts consolidating, that means it's going to be a quite big move next on. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be exposed to that move, because basically what I want to do is recover the account. Another plus $8 over here, and that's why I say I would stop trading now, because I'll probably have my daily profit achieved, so I don't need to trade anymore. But obviously, like I say, as it being a backtest, we've got to continue trading over here, and we have another long position right here. I must say as well, look at these 1-minute candles over here, and look at this big red candle, plus the consolidation, plus a retracement needed down to here. We could lead to a big loss in this one, but let's see what happens. So price continues. All right. We did have the retracement, came more or less down to here, but thanks to the trading rules that this strategy has got, we've left with only minus $5, so it could have been worse. And we're not going to enter a short position, because we're virtually touching the 50 level, so we're just going to wait for the trend to start rolling over again. We have another lovely trade around here, so we're going to enter a short position, and price smashes to take profit again with another $19. We're coming in near to the New York session again, so we must keep that in mind. That will probably see some bigger moves right now. Quite healthy downtrend on the 5-minute, so things are looking good. Let's enter the sell position right over here and see if it smashes again to take profit. As it does, another $7 that we scratch around here. We're getting some small profits right at the minute, but they are consistent, and for me that is the most important. And we have won quite a lot of trades today, so that is great as well. We're going to enter the next position around here, but must see that right at the moment this downtrend structure is starting to consolidate. It's getting smaller, and this could mean we could see some reversions, and that is not going to be good for us if we enter this short position. So we must hopefully leave the trade before this happens. So we got another one here, and whoa, it nearly hit the 70 level. It would have been a great trade over there, and it looks like it's starting to consolidate back, and it looks like it's starting to roll back down again, so that is good news as well. Nice retracement over here, perfect over here, into another short position, and that is perfect with another $24. And me personally, I would have called it a day 2 times already today, because we made already plus $80 using this small lot size, because at the end of the day we're only winning like $10-15. So it's doing great, and we've already achieved another 1%. Even what I've said, we've achieved a 3% if we wouldn't have had that big loss. So things are looking great. So we just have to continue trading. In this case, we have another nice retracement here, and here's where I don't like it too much, because we still have a lot of room for more retracement, and obviously we're going to enter a trade down here, but rules are the rules. We must just follow them down. In this case, we had a nice exit round here, another $36, so that is great. Probably have another retracement soon. It might even have a reverse of the 5-minute chart, so we must keep that in mind. We're going to enter another sell round here. and it's happened. We have gone in a drawdown, and well, hey, it's not too bad. Only -$7. That is okay. I'll take that. I'll take that compared to what we could have lost. So that is perfect for me. Price, as you can see, is starting to revert on the 5-minute. So we just got to wait for the RSI to more or less correct wherever it's got to go. Hopefully, what about this one? Okay, this is a valid trade. Obviously, me personally, after seeing all this downtrend here, I'll be more interested looking in buys, but like I say, we've got to follow the rules in this case. But like I say, with the experience, we'll have a better eye on what trades to take and what trades not to take, because at the end of the day, you can have a great strategy, but if you don't use a correct risk management and you don't have a trading plan, the strategy is gonna not do anything basically. But as you can see, even trading like a greedy boy today, we have achieved more than a 1%, nearly to a 1.5% of the account. So hey, I think that is completely great. We've only been trading for 3 days, so I think that's even better. And obviously, if we increase a bit more the lot size and trade a bit less and select the trades better, we can get some even better profits. So let's continue down, because obviously we're still in time. It's still quite early. Just the New York session started not so long ago, and we have a nice trade over here. It looks quite healthy on this side, so let's enter the trade and let's hope it gives us some quick profits as well. In this case, it hasn't given us profits, but well, it's okay. It's okay. Only 38 centimeters. So at the end of the day, it's more like a break even than anything else. So we're good on that side. Price is starting to revert on the 50 level. So we must keep that in mind. And okay, we have a valid trade here. Personally, it's not my favorite because we're quite close to the 50 level, but it is a valid trade. So let's enter the trade over here. Got our nice take profit over here, another $27, up to 1.5% in the account. And personally, I'm going to pass on to the next day because it's virtually coming up to the end of the session. So for me, it's perfect. And personally, I'm happy with the profits it's achieved. And personally, I would call it a day up to here. Let's see how many trades we've done. We've done a total of 37 trades, and we've had a total of a 76% win rate. That is completely great. And our profit factor is 1.55, so that is spot on as well. A drawdown of a 2.5% on the account. That is completely fine. It was basically that big loss that we took at the start off. We've recovered from that loss. We've made a 1.5%. Obviously, we've been trading all day, and that's what I say. The best thing that we can do is not trade all day, because at the end of the day, for me personally, the best we can do is just have a nice trading plan spread out that adapts completely to our personality. I'm not a greedy person, so I'm not going to trade all day. I only need 2-3 trades to call the profit day. Basically, make a 1%, 1.5%, and that is more than enough for me. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a bit more of this strategy. Let me know back down in the comments if you actually knew this strategy. I hope you're good, and I'll see you next time.